Do you ever feel like you're living in a barracks instead of a home? You know that suffocating feeling that no matter what you say or feel, the final decision has already been made before you even open your mouth? Many believe that having a strong, firm, and decisive personality is the absolute secret to family success and security. And indeed, history is full of leaders who changed the world. But let me tell you a harsh and counterintuitive truth. There is a very thin, almost invisible line that separates the protective leader everyone admires from the domestic dictator everyone fears. And most couples only realize they've crossed this line when silence and hurt have already taken over the living room. In this video, we are going to unmask the dynamic of excessive control. I will show you exactly how to identify if you or the person you love have become a modern-day Diotrephes, and most importantly, how to transform this brute force, which hurts today, into an unbreakable alliance. If you want to stop being a mere subject inside your own home, or learn to lead without wounding the heart of the one you love, stay with me until the end. What I'm about to reveal will change the way you see your partner and yourself, starting today. It is fascinating to observe how certain people carry an inexhaustible battery of energy and resolution within them, acting like true engines in daily life. You certainly know, or perhaps are, that figure who walks into a room and immediately realizes what needs to be done, taking command with impressive naturality. We are talking about individuals with a controlling personality in the most practical sense of the word. They are sharp, active, and waste no time with paralyzing hesitations. They look at chaos and see an immediate opportunity to establish order, bringing an initial sense of security to those around them. Think of that moment when a tire goes flat on a deserted road, or when a last-minute dinner needs to be organized for the entire family that just arrived by surprise. At these times, having someone with this profile nearby is a true gift, as they view problems not as obstacles, but as challenges to be overcome quickly. This resolute posture is admirable and often necessary to keep life functional, as they decide with the same ease that they breathe. For them, indecision is a torment, so they fill the vacuum of doubt with immediate and direct action. However, wisdom is needed to notice that this driving force, if not tempered, begins to occupy spaces that do not belong to it. As a couples mentor, I frequently see that this extreme self-sufficiency, while useful in business or crises, can create a curious dynamic at home. The person who decides quickly tends to think their way is the only logical way, and ends up deciding not just for themselves, but also for the other. It's like that ship captain who, in the rush to save the crew from a storm, forgets to ask if everyone wants to go to the same port. To illustrate practically, imagine choosing year-end vacations. The resolute partner has already bought the tickets, booked the hotel, and planned the itinerary, all with the best of intentions to spare the other the work. The efficiency is undeniable, but was there space for mutual respect in building this shared dream? The line between being proactive and being invasive is thin, and often those with this obstinate nature don't even realize they are bulldozing their partner's decision-making process. They do it because it's easy for them, without noticing that one person's ease can be the other's silencing. This independence and obstinacy, traits so praised in the corporate world, need to be observed under a magnifying glass when brought into the intimacy of the home. The controlling person tends to be independent to the extreme, which is great for survival, but challenging for coexistence and for maintaining marital balance. They do not yield easily to outside pressure and will argue to the end to prove their point, as their internal logic is armored by the certainty that they are doing what is best for everyone, even if no one asked. You must realize we are not villainizing this trait, but rather shedding light on how it operates in daily practice. Home harmony depends on understanding that this thick skin and difficulty expressing cordial feelings are not necessarily a lack of love, but rather a mode of operation focused on results. They achieve much in life, build empires, and protect their family tooth and nail, but in the process, they may end up treating human relations like just another project to be managed with maximum efficiency. Here lies the crucial point we need to start unraveling with care and redoubled attention. When this efficiency tramples sensitivity, what was meant to be protective leadership can transform into something that suffocates the person standing next to you. And it is precisely in this blind spot where the good intention to resolve everything meets the human need to be heard that invisible cracks begin to appear, cracks that, if left untreated, can compromise the entire structure of the relationship. Deepening our conversation, we realize that the controlling personality often manifests in the non-negotiable need to have the last word. Have you ever been in that situation where a simple discussion about which movie to watch turns into a legal debate where one needs to convince the other with irrefutable arguments? For someone with this profile, yielding to outside pressure is almost a personal defeat. They argue to the end, not out of malice, but because they view life as a series of logical problems that require the correct solution, which, coincidentally, usually happens to be theirs. The great challenge here is that in this relentless pursuit of efficiency and reason, empathy often takes a back seat, as if it were an optional accessory. It is common for the more resolute partner to have difficulty showing compassion or those cordial, warm-hearted emotions that nourish daily affection. They can fix the faucet, pay the bills, and plan retirement masterfully, but may freeze when it comes to offering a friendly shoulder just to listen to a vent, without trying to solve the other's sadness immediately with a 3-step action plan. This bulldozer attitude that achieves much and builds empires unfortunately has the side effect of running over anyone who gets in the way, even if that someone is the love of their life. In marriage, this generates a deafening noise in the silence of the day-to-day. The spouse begins to feel their ideas are merely disposable suggestions, and their emotions are not validated. When mutual respect for diverging opinions disappears, space opens for that painful and frequent complaint: I don't feel loved, I feel managed. To bring this down to reality, think about home renovations or the simple purchase of an appliance. The controller researches, decides the model, color, and delivery date because it's the best cost-benefit, forgetting to ask if the partner liked that color or prioritized design over power. A practical golden tip for you: before clicking buy or signing a contract, institute the rule of 2 yeses. A decision that affects home harmony is only validated if there are 2 yeses. If one says yes and the other says no, go back to the negotiation board. This feeling of being emotionally run over is a slow poison that compromises marital balance. The person being run over tends to go silent to avoid conflict, creating a false peace, while the controller thinks everything is fine because no one complained. It is crucial to understand that the absence of conflict does not mean the presence of harmony. The active partner needs to train active listening, hold their tongue for 10 seconds before retorting, while the passive partner needs to exercise the courage to take a stand, remembering that their voice is essential for the relationship's health. Make no mistake, living with someone who views problems as stimulating challenges has huge advantages, especially in times of financial crisis or family health issues. This strength is an incredible pillar of support. The problem is not the strength itself, but the direction and intensity with which it is applied inside the home. It's like having a Formula One car in the garage, wonderful on the tracks, but disastrous if you try to drive at 300 kilometers per hour inside a residential complex full of children.
Now, stop and reflect. Is this strong characteristic always negative? History and even sacred texts show us that this same personality, which today may be causing friction in your living room, has been responsible for changing the destiny of entire nations. There is a subtle secret between the leader who inspires and the tyrant who oppresses. And understanding this historical difference might be the key missing to turn this game around.
It is interesting to note how this strength of character is neither a modern invention nor a manufacturing defect. If we look at great narratives like those of the biblical prophets, we clearly see traits of this controlling personality being used for a greater good. They needed to be unshakable, decisive, and thick-skinned to fulfill divine purposes amidst persecution, social pressure, and the crowd's disbelief. Imagine trying to guide an entire people through the desert or confront tyrannical kings while being indecisive or overly sensitive to others' opinions. It would be impossible. In these extreme contexts, obstinacy was a vital virtue, a survival tool. Their firmness guaranteed the correct direction, and the lack of easy sympathy was the necessary price to pay to keep focus on the mission, something many family leaders try to replicate today in their quest for security. However, the same fountain that gushes sweet water can gush bitter water if not watched closely. The same biblical text presents us with a dark and very educational counterpoint in the figure of Diotrephes, a man who took control to a toxic extreme. He not only refused to welcome and help, but actively prevented others from doing so, becoming a barrier to others' growth and destroying mutual respect in the community. Here lies the fundamental dividing line that separates the inspiring leader from the domestic dictator. Negative control is born when we stop making only our own decisions and start hijacking the other's power of choice. Diotrephes wanted to be the only one to shine, the only one to have a voice, nullifying any chance of home harmony, or in the community in his case, that wasn't under his strict and selfish terms. Bringing this to the 21st century, this happens when one spouse unilaterally decides to cut contact with the other's family or controls every penny spent without transparency, acting like a severe gatekeeper of the couple's life. If you catch yourself frequently saying, "You won't do that because I don't want you to," be careful. You may be crossing the border from protection to prohibition, suffocating the empathy necessary for love to flourish. Marital balance dies suffocated when one becomes the absolute protagonist and the other becomes a mere extra or spectator of their own life. Servant leadership, the kind that truly inspires, uses its natural strength to lift the other up, not to keep them under a thumb. A powerful exercise is to ask yourself, is my decision making my spouse's life easier, or am I just creating rules to feel safe and in charge? Identifying which side of history you are operating on today, whether as a prophet who protects or a Diotrephes who represses, requires a massive dose of courage and brutal honesty. Often the person doesn't even realize they've become the antagonist of their own love story. But if that realization hits now, what do you do with it? How do you transform this involuntary tyranny into a restorative partnership without losing your essence? If following this reasoning, you felt a chill down your spine and identified with this controlling personality, the first step is to step down from the pedestal of absolute certainty. It is likely that you need help understanding how your actions, however well-intentioned, affect the nerves and heart of the person living with you. It's like being an elephant trying to dance in a crystal shop. No matter how much you try to be graceful and efficient, your natural weight can crack the other's self-esteem without you even noticing. The great secret here is having the humility to separate intention from the actual impact caused. You might have had the best intention in the world organizing the couple's financial life alone, but the impact might have been making your spouse feel like an incapable child.
Mutual respect requires that we validate the other's pain, even if, logically, it makes no sense to your pragmatic mind. It's no use saying, "I did it for your own good," if the person feels nullified and diminished by your gesture of love. To train empathy and get off autopilot, how about a practical challenge for the week? Every time you make a decision, ask your partner, from 0 to 10, how much do you feel your opinion was really considered here? If the answer is low, silence your immediate justification and just listen to the why. Biting your tongue at these times and welcoming the criticism is an exercise in maturity that strengthens character much more than winning any theoretical argument. Now, speaking directly to those who live with this resolute profile, if this description matches your spouse, silence is not your friend, it is your jailer. Perhaps you need to confront them gently when you feel ignored or disrespected. Running from conflict to maintain a false home harmony is like sweeping dirt under the rug. Eventually, the pile gets so big, everyone trips over it. You need to find your voice and occupy your space. But pay redoubled attention to the form. Facing a bulldozer head-on only generates a serious accident. Use the I-person speech technique. Instead of accusing by saying, "You are bossy and never listen to me," try saying, "When you decided X without consulting me, I felt undervalued and sad." This disarms the controller's logical defense and touches the emotional point, opening a vital crack for marital balance to enter and establish itself. Remember that the ultimate goal is not to change anyone's essence, but to refine coexistence. The controller will continue to be agile, practical, and resolute, but now with ABS brakes to avoid skidding on the relationship's sensitive curves. The calmer partner will learn to set healthy boundaries and value their own opinion. It is a dance of fine adjustments where both win, transforming a power struggle into an unbreakable alliance. When we manage to make this course correction with sincerity, something extraordinary happens in the couple's dynamic. That immense energy that was once spent on turf wars or corroded by silent grudges is finally set free. It transforms into fuel to build a future where both pilot together. And it is precisely on how to consolidate this transformation and not revert to old habits that we need to focus now. We have arrived at the moment of truth. All this knowledge about the difference between being a leader who inspires and a controller who suffocates is useless if it stays only in the realm of ideas. Marital balance is not built with intentions, but with deliberate actions of renunciation and courage. Now the ball is in your court. Are you going to continue this exhausting arm wrestling where one wins and the other loses? Or are you going to finally lower your guards to build a partnership where both win? I want to launch a provocation for you to answer here in the comments without fear of judgment. When was the last time you gave up being right just to prioritize peace and listen to your spouse's heart? The honest answer to this question could be the start of your turnaround. And look, if throughout this video you realize that your biggest obstacle to letting go of the bone of control is precisely the tremendous difficulty in stopping, silencing the internal voice, and really listening to what the other says without running them over, know that there is a specific technique for this. There is a way to flip the communication switch and disarm any tension before it turns into a war. I left a very special video highlighted here on the end screen that teaches exactly this dynamic of connection and listening that can save your day. It is the practical step missing to complete what we learned today. If this content helped you see a light at the end of the tunnel and you want to continue shielding your relationship with wisdom, subscribe to the channel now and turn on notifications. We are together in this journey for a stronger and happier family. Until the next video.